Welcome to Neon and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. I was here yesterday also, and if you were here yesterday by mistake, or I would say by mistake, because there were some glitches of the demos, because that was the first day we ever previewed what we are going to preview you again today. Before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Pranav Mistry, and I'm a proud member of this small team of, we call it Neon, people in my team. 4 months before we started this journey. So whatever you're seeing today is the product of our 4 months of the nights and days of work. If you calculate them into 4 months, say, a lot of days and nights in one case. And why I'm here today, because 6 years ago, I came here to CES. I see a lot of products, nothing has been changed. It's the same. There were 2 cameras on the back that time, not 3 cameras. And I thought that CES should be all about future. Let's talk about technology that the world is going to change, and let's be the participants. Let's participate together in building that future. And I dream that maybe one day I will come to CES, not just to sell my products or business to you, but to show you a technology that I'm excited about. I'm a technologist. I come from computer science, engineering background, science background, media arts and sciences, psychology background. So whatever we are going to show you today is nowhere near to ready to be product. So do not expect what you're seeing over here that you will be using that in your home this year or next year, like that. Maybe year after, yes. It depends on how much day and night of more work we put to that. And why I'm saying this upfront, because your expectation of product need to go down. But I'm more than excited about what I'm going to talk and show you today about. I truly believe that imagination is just a stopover. If you can imagine, you can build it. And I've done that before, so that lesson, the many of the products that you have seen, the Galaxy, the gears, wearable watches, Gear VR, some of the early Xbox, many of the robots that you've seen in some of the time, the cooking robots, or even yesterday you see maybe the ball robots. I can proudly say that was my products. I initiated them, I created them from scratch, right algorithms for that with my team, and worked hard on them. And I'm more than excited about what I'm going to show you today. As the CEO and President of Star Labs, which is a 4-month-old organization, Neon is the first venture of Star Labs. So let me begin with the question, what is Neon? Because all of you are here to ask this question, what is Neon? In our schools, we used to learn about the periodic table, chemistry. This guy sitting over here, the 10th position and the 10th element on our periodic table is neon. That's what we know. It's the same neon that if you go to Shanghai or Tokyo or the streets of the Las Vegas is having colorful lights around you. It's a wonderful element, and that inspired us to give the name neon. Neo-human, for short we call it. But when you bring that neon closer to an electric field, it lights up this color, orange-red color. Some of you have seen the blue color neon lights. Those are not neon. Those are their friends, kryptons and xenons and argons, and there are a lot of those ones. Those are all noble gas. Noble gas means that they don't interact with people. To the contrary, we are creating something over here who love to interact with you. So I'm sure that you are not here to learn about the chemistry or physics over here. You are here to learn about what is neon, the neon that we are here. So let us start that story. For 15 years, I'm in tech industry. Keep innovating, keep asking questions, keep defying the gravity. And I started asking this question long before that, can we push the boundaries of what we can create? I grew up in India in a small village. The technology cannot be accessed by people. That I was asking, can we make technology more human? Can rather than we learning about technology, can technology learn about us? Can machines be like us? In science fiction movies or literatures, books and stories, we always dream about characters that talk to us. Or you, as a kid, I grew up with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. My 3-year-old daughter is growing up with the princess of Ona. She can become more sad when the princess is sad. She knows that that's not a real person, but she can sympathize with that. And this is not something new. A lot of people are coming to that place, the human aspects of technology. We have seen in movies we use the CGI characters, the younger version of the same actors. The technology now exists. It takes time. It takes 1 year to build that particular 3 hour of the movie. She has more fan followers than me and my old friends combined. She's not a real person. Gaming world always for last 15 years, games wants to make the characters much and much looking real person because people can relate to them. But not that what we are talking about. The question that we are asking that can machines be as human as us like this? Science question, philosophical question, right? Why we are in CES? Because I will come to that point. As we started this journey in October 2018, when I say this journey, means this thought process, thinking about this thing. Me and my friend started in our garage or our home, started writing some algorithms. And what I'm showing you is me and my friend actually first results of that.
Today we are trying to see how far we can go with this experiment. We tried this experiment quite a few times, but it appears that every time we try, it ends up being one thing or the other. Samsung is coming in a new era of innovation and learning. Today morning, Trump announced.
Okay, let me stop him because he's going to go wrong place. But what you're seeing over here on this screen, just now the left screen was Abhijit, my friend. He's there, you can meet him after the show. And other side was the Abhijit created by my machines. In this particular screen, it is hard for you to know which one Abhijit is a real Abhijit, which one is not an Abhijit. So this was happening 2-3 months before we were in this stage, where not only that, if you see that my machines can even to move Abhijit's eyes wherever they want to move it. What is happening over here is that Abhijit is able to control himself in a different complete look in real time, creating a technology that never existed before. This time we are not a company, this time we are not a venture, this time we are just 2 of us or 3 of us friends writing some interesting code, algorithms, science. We started getting more and more excited. When we started seeing these results, we say, let's take a step further. Now not Abhijit, but some other friends is able to control the digital version of Abhijit in real time. What is happening over here is that this is a video from somewhere, some person can see drive Abhijit, digital version of Abhijit. This is not, Abhijit never did that thing, and you can see some of the glitches over there. Every single move, every single pixel of that is generated in real time by the machines, the algorithm that we are building. That answers the question that why we want to come, a 4-month-old small venture, want to come and show the people this technology, because we believe that this is something super exciting happening, a new science, a neon bulb that is going to glow. Let's participate together where we can take this technology to. Unlike other places in other booths you might see, we do not have any product to sell you right now. But let us go next a step further. We keep building on that. This is just several months before, now 5-6 months before, I would say. Michael, you will also see Michael somewhere standing over here. Yeah, Michael is there, you can see. This is Michael, same Michael. When we started writing code, the same code that we had, now Now you see that there is no input coming from Michael. Not even Michael, not even anyone, but my machine is continuously able to create original content. That original content, Michael never said that say this way. Machine's got his own emotions, machine's got his own way of moving, machine got his own way of talking. And that's where we say, aha, let's do something. Let's take this technology a step further. We opened this venture, we call it Neon. And then we build Core R3. This is the outcome of the Core R3. Every single expressions, the movements, they are coming in real time. They are generated by our machines. Of course, they are based after real people right now. Same as they were based upon Michael or Abhijit before. But Michael and Abhijit, as they deliver expressions of that smile, see, Karen, we call it, she never had this nod. She never nod this way, exactly same way. She might have nod similar different way. As a human, we can nod 50 different way or 100 different way, 1,000 different ways. So now, let's go a step further. When we started this small venture out of the Star Labs, we are building something, we call it Core R3. Core R3 stands for 3 R's, as you can see. Reality, real-time, responsive. What makes you and me real? Because you look real, 100% real. You are in real time listening to me and nodding your head when I'm talking to you. And you are responsive, you are looking at me. If there is one more person come, your eyes will gaze at that person. I'm not talking about any intelligence. Do not misunderstand that these neons that I showed you before have any intelligence, zero intelligence. They do not have any component of memory. They do not learn right now. That will come later, and I'm going to talk about that. Core R3 is a front-end rendering engine if you can think of the gaming world. Core R3 is not the AI engine that is sitting on the back of the game engine. It's a front-end engine if you think of that way. It's still hard to understand. I agree, and that is why I'm emphasizing on some of the words so that you don't misunderstand some of those things. What is happening technically for the computer science people or the people coming from that field of mathematics? There is 3 things that driving Core R3. Behavioral neural network. When I say behavioral neural networks are the same thing that we use for when you search on a search engine, when you talk to an AI assistant on your phone. These are neural networks. Behavioral neural networks are a little bit different. These behavioral neural networks help Neon generate that smile, different behavior. Not when to generate it, but how to smile, how to behave. The second most interesting thing that is driving Core R3 is the EGI, a generative intelligence, which is able to generate in real time. What is real time? 20 milliseconds. When I'm talking about real time, I'm talking about 20 milliseconds. That's a fraction of a second. So later you will see the demos of the Core R3. Every single pixel of that particular visual representation is generated live in that 20 milliseconds, coming out of the 7 machines, 7 big computing power machines that I have on the back side over there. If I want, and you have seen so many neons around you, I can make any of those neons also alive, but I only have limited computing power right now. So in order to give you that example, where Michael is standing there, you can see his hand. That neon is live because I connected to one of that computer. If you want to make that neon alive, I just need to connect to that particular computer, to that neon, and it will be alive. Just to give an example of it. All the other neons that you are seeing is pre-generated, but is generated same way that is generated. It's not real-time generated, because in order to make them real-time generated, it will require me a lot more computing power to bring it over here. The third thing is nothing new. This is the classical computer graphics technique. For 50 years we are using it. In the long old IBM machine used to use some of the early artificial light machines. I use that. But Core R3 combines them three. This two belongs to us. We completely generated from scratch. So how Core R3 does all this magic? In a layman term, Core R3 is extensively trained with how humans look. Not one human, how multiple humans, how all of us look. So many people, data about how people talk, how people move their mouth when they say hello or namaste, how they do gestures, how they do jump. All this data is making Core R3 the most powerful engine that can now, once it's trained, it can now create individual neurons. Once these individual neurons are created, there is no connection with the Core R3. The connection now happens with his interaction. Like now this neuron is deployed in the real world, in a bank, or as your friend, as a medical healthcare provider. Now is interacting with the real people. So learning is happening now by interaction with you, real humans, and then they are growing. Now, these neurons, as I mentioned, that when they go into real world, they develop their own personality. They learn from you. And how are we doing this thing? I'm going to talk about very briefly. Right now, as I mentioned, we do not have that thing. Core R3 does not have that particular part. That part will be coming in Spectra, end of the year, as a preview to you. But so before going there, as you can see, the different neuron can generate different characteristics, different way of smiling. And in order to demonstrate this one, that's because I'm a more of a tech person. I like to demo things. I'm not a business person, so if you ask me, oh, what's the business case of this? Let's talk about that later. Let's finish the coding first. Let's make the Spectra and Core R3 ready. Then we talk about what to do with this thing. But I have my friend Simon, and Simon is planning to. Simon can help me with this demos, and we can show some of the live neons. And as I mentioned, nothing to hide you. There are 5 machines right now I have on the back side, 5 computing power. I can connect this 4 right now to show you the 4 live neons, and the 5th one I connected over there. If I had a 20 of those computing power, I would be able to connect to 20 of this neon, and all of them I can show it to you live. In order to show you live, there might be some glitches, because imagine that this thing, and that is why we are painting over here that what's the computing problem happening. If it go inside some zone, turn it off the machine, it's going to burn off. So bear with us. If you see some glitches, forgive us, because this is the second day anyone ever have seen this technology outside of these 20 people that you are seeing around. And you might ask then why you are in CES, because I mentioned to you, there's something such fundamentally interesting happening over here that I cannot keep to myself. I want to share with the world. So let's.
Okay, thank you, Pranav. I'm going to show a couple of features of our neons. First of all, let me just go over what you see on the screen. At the first part of this demo, I'm going to be driving 3 neons. The 2 that you see here, airline worker and a yoga instructor, and the 3rd with Michael over at the back there. And on the screen here, a couple of things I wanted to point out. This little yellow bit of text here says auto at the moment. That means it's in an autonomous mode. It's choosing its own actions. And the actions it's choosing is based upon a model it has of its mood, if you like, emotional state. And we have a visualization of that there. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to them, and you see it's switched to an alive mode. So that means that this tablet here is now going to be used to drive these 2 neons here and the one back with Michael. Now, once I'm connected to them, the first thing I'd like to do is test that the connection is okay. So I'm just going to do something very simple. I'll ask them all to freeze, or frozen, and unfreeze. So it seems that that handshake worked well. So let's try something now. Let's say I said something and I wanted them to nod. So you'll see them start to nod. She just nodded, and she did a nod over there. Or I could ask, let me just go to the airline. I'll go to, for the people at the back, I'll go to Maya and ask her to laugh. And then I'm going to switch over to the yoga instructor. And perhaps I've said something a little bit confusing. And we'll see how she might respond in that type of situation. So I think she's just entering into this confused state now, and you'll see her look a little bit perplexed or...
So what you're seeing over here, every single time she'll be able to confuse or smile or different thing is not in my head. But Simon is able to control with the tablet. We are not talking about here talking to. He's not understanding what she's saying. What we are showing is that the 4R3 or the neon on the back is able to take any commands. And if you are coming from the AI field, you know, like chess, now, or Go, game of Go, a machine can easily beat humans. They haven't become intelligent. Machines haven't become intelligent per se. But machines are good at two things. They are fast, and they can have billions of the possible routes, and they can calculate the permutations and select the right permutations. That's what machines are powerful at. What is happening over here is that there can be a million ways she can express something, and she's just simply selecting that one of the million ways. That is what we are just now, in the first part of the demo we are showing. We are coming to much more complex part of it. But when something can do that on command, on real time, that is already having the real life expression. You can maybe talk similar, we can ask something, a sentence.
Sure. Let's try something with the yoga instructor. So she's just about to say for a typical greeting. Let's see what it is.
Welcome.
Or I could ask the airline worker to perhaps say something. So she's just queued up now, and we'll have that playing just as she grabs that next action.
Are you having fun?
And to make my point again, can I have the inside view of her?
So we'd like to see a visualization of there.
So what is happening over here now? This is actually happening that my machine that I'm worried about and it can burn out. All these red lines you are seeing, there are so many. That's why it becomes so parsy over here. This is the million paths she can take from here to LG booth, or from here to a TCL booth, or any other booth. You may be able to take multiple paths, and that's what your AI chest does. Her brain, not a real brain, her computational brain works like this way right now. And it looks very small when it zooms out, but there are more than several million possibilities she can have expressions to that. And this is one part of it. And when she takes the path, me or Simon doesn't have much control which path she takes. Like I don't have control, you're going to smile right now this way, maybe next time you might smile a little bit different. I don't have control. But there are limited, if I ask you, so we smile of 1,000 different ways, you will not be able to do that as a human, impossible. Now we go to a much more complex part of it in a bit. Yeah.
All right. So on the neons we just saw, the focus was really on this very realistic presentation of their facial expressions and their movement. In this one here, we're going to look at a finer level of control. So let's see if I can connect to her. Yes. And with this one, again, we can choose various facial expressions. Let me just bring up a couple of those. So for example, she might look skeptical, or perhaps confused, and surprised, and then smile. She can also speak.
Hello.
So there's really a difference. If you,
Hi.
it might sound very similar to what earlier demo to you, but let me explain you what is very different over here. Here, unlike here, Monica over here, she is not taking one of the permutation lines. Now I have control of each step she takes from here to NG booth. So in order to demonstrate that thing, when I can even close her eyes, one eye, whichever eye you select, or I can say, okay, can you move her eyebrows up? So now Simon is able to, literally he's able to sliding his one of the eyes and say, okay, can you, and while she's closing the eyes, forgive me, it looks a little bit not right to do, but close both of eyes and say hello, or whatever word you want to say, welcome, hi.
Hi.
What you see is that now I have final level control. When she is, I can also move her head this way because I have final level control on how my machine is able to 20 millisecond delay is able to generate a real time experience that looks as real, right? Whatever the voice you are hearing over here, whatever the intelligence that is coming, as I mentioned before, we are not an intelligence AI assistant company. That can come from any third party. There are 10 of them in the world, and then they can, some of them are sitting on your phone, and they can provide us all those services. But for R3 can right now connect to any third party services for that per se. So for example, what you are seeing is now
CES에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
this Korean voice that is coming right now is from a third party Korean service provider. In the future it can be domain
你
specific
好，
knowledge.
请问我有什么可以帮你？
And this is actually going to the cloud, connecting to the API of the third party. It can come back. It can be domain specific knowledge. It can be Hindi, any other language.
धन्यवाद.
Dhanyavad means thank you in India, Indian language. But as I mentioned to that voice part is not our technology. So it might sound a little bit robotic to you. That is not coming from us, and that is why we are designing Spectra in the future. We can also connect this thing to a chatbot. Many of you know the chatbots, like they can talk to you. So not our chatbot, but any third-party chatbot. Do you have any chatbot you can connect to?
Hi, it's so nice to see you.
Okay. So this is the chatbot. Now Simon will be able to ask some questions or any other, even not even any English language or text.
So how do you like CES this year?
What is happening over here? Simon's command is just going online, connected to the third-party cloud services, and giving them that what is the sound that need to say, or what is the word need to say, and my system is able to connect to the neon and able to say that. Even the behind over here, Simon, I think the Maya is also up.
Yes, so this is a fourth neon that we have. Let me just reconnect to her. Just a moment, please. There. Okay, we're live on this one now. So, like Monica, she has a set of expressions she can make, and these ones we've worked a bit more on. So they're very natural looking. Smiles.
So you can see the smiles are different smiles. It depends on what kind of particular kind of smile you want her to. Maybe tell some dialogues or something, maybe story.
She can tell a story. Here's one.
Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter.
And while Simon is doing this,
They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a big fir tree. Now, my dears, said Miss Old Rabbit, one morning you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden.
Some pre-recorded thing or any kind of thing. Every single frame is rendered, generated in real time with those things. Simon, thank you. Thanks for the demo of that thing. What we are doing with over here, that there are 4 things happening over here. We are creating neons. 4 or 3 can generate neon which are virtually real. That's our goal. When I say real, means they look 100% real. This is not Hey Neon. We do not want to create an AI assistant. This is not an AI assistant which tells you what is the weather outside. Or remind me to call this person. For that you have a lot of other options. Please go to them. What we are trying to create over here is the personality, one-to-one interaction with person, the human interface to the machine and human interface to the digital world. And this is domain or language independent. If you want to learn how to play flute or how to learn a new language, if I go to a hotel in Russia and there is no person who can speak my language, I want to connect in my language to that person. I want to order the food. I want to talk to a doctor which can help me in my communication language. And at the same time, we are open and connected. Open because, let's say that just now I was talking to a media industry person, or I was talking to a healthcare provider. He said that in UK, that is the loneliness is a problem. People want to talk to someone. When our soldiers are in the field, they want to talk to a real person, to interact with them, so they feel more connected. Our system can connect to any third-party voice services, domain-specific knowledge, language services. So 4R3, 4-month-old 4R3 technology preview that was just now you see. And in order to extend these capabilities, we can work with selected partners over the globe to bring their capability, their domain-specific knowledge, with keeping the privacy and security as a part of the architecture, so that no one except you and the Neon interaction can ever go on. That's a design in that. And because we believe that, just now I was listening to the sound of the Monica was talking, it's very mechanical. Oh, hello, my name is Neon. That's not what we want. That's not how humans talk. How do we solve this problem? As a small venture, we believe that we need to do that also ourselves. And we plan to build Spectra. We already started on it. When Spectra will be completed, we will bring our own intelligence part of it. We don't need to rely upon a third party. We will bring the memory aspect of it. Because today you came to this presentation. If you come again, I can recognize you. Oh, you were here yesterday. That is what the human interaction is all about. If you go to the same person again and say, oh, what is your name? Right now, even on my own phone, I need to put double authentication. You are in my pocket. Just now, I put you in my pocket, and you are asking me again, recognize me? That is not the science and technology world we want to live in. So we want to show you the preview of Spectra in Neon World 2020. In 4 months, we are able to do this much. I strongly believe that my team, after 15 days of the rest, I promise them that thing. Next 10 months, we will work hard again to give you two things. Preview of Spectra and beta version of the 4R3 that we can start testing with some of the early partners, B2B partners, so we can learn from back and forth from them. And there's so much interest right now. In this last 2 days, more than 500 B2B partners already wanted to work with us. Can we have that in Germany? Can we have that in China? Can we have that in the healthcare industry, education industry? So I personally feel that there is two ways we can live in the future. One, we wait for someone to make the future, and then we live in that future. Second way, that you become that someone. And at Neon and at Star Labs, we want to be the later one. We want to be the one that will design our future in partnership with all of us, the whole world. What is right, what is wrong, what should we do? And then go further. And that is why we are here, to demonstrate you something about science and technology, not selling your product right now. So with that, I would really say thank you. And if you have any questions, please ask any of our Neon. You can see this particular color today. Tomorrow will be a different color. We believe in seeing so fast. So we'll be wearing a different color t-shirts. Look out for that. We will be wearing one of the neon colors or another noble gas color. And that's what we will do. Thank you again for joining us.